Day 26. Resting in what is steady. I'm Avery, and welcome to Daily Grace. This season, we are walking through a series called Trust, a steady return to God. Take a slow breath for a moment. Let your shoulders soften. Let your hands rest where they are. You do not have to rush into this moment. You do not have to solve anything. Just arrive here. Sometimes the most healing thing we can do is simply pause long enough to notice what is steady. Life moves quickly. Our thoughts move quickly. Our emotions rise and fall. Some days we wake up feeling grounded. Other days we feel uncertain before the morning has even begun. But beneath all of that movement, there is something quieter, something steady. Something that does not shift as easily as our feelings do. Trust begins to grow when we learn to rest there, not by forcing ourselves to feel calm, not by pretending life is simple, but by slowly remembering what has not changed. God's steadiness does not depend on how strong we feel. It does not depend on whether we have clarity. It does not disappear when life becomes complicated. God remains steady. Even when our thoughts are restless, even when our hearts are tired, even when the path ahead feels unclear, there's a quiet kind of peace that grows when we begin to lean into that truth. Not a loud peace, not the kind that removes every worry, but a quiet peace that settles underneath the noise. It grows slowly, often so slowly that we barely notice it at first. But over time, it becomes a place our hearts can return to. The Bible offers a simple reminder of this kind of steadiness. In Psalm 62:5, we read, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." The words are simple. Find rest in God. Not strive, not prove, not figure everything out, but rest. Resting does not mean life becomes perfect. It means we remember where our hope truly comes from. Not from having every answer, not from controlling every outcome, but from the quiet faithfulness of God. There was a day not long ago when I felt the weight of many small things at once. Just the quiet kind of pressure that builds over time. A long list of responsibilities, questions about the future. My mind would not slow down. I remember stepping outside for a moment, just to breathe. The air was still, the world was quiet. And for a few minutes, I did nothing except stand there. No phone, no conversation, no attempt to fix the day, just stillness. At first, my thoughts kept moving quickly, but after a few moments, something shifted. Not in the circumstances, because those were still there, but inside. The urgency softened, and I realized something simple. The day did not need me to carry everything at once. God was still steady. The sky above me had not changed. The ground beneath my feet had not changed. And neither had the quiet faithfulness of God. Sometimes rest begins like that, not with a dramatic moment, but with a small decision to stop carrying more than we were meant to hold. Trust grows slowly when we allow ourselves to return to what is steady. Over time, our hearts begin to recognize that place, the place where we can breathe again, the place where hope does not depend on the moment, the place where God's presence feels less like something we chase and more like something we quietly return to. Trust does not mean we never feel anxious. It does not mean we always feel strong. It simply means we know where to rest when our strength feels thin. God's steadiness becomes the place we return to again and again. Some days that feels easy, other days it feels unfamiliar, but it remains available always, quietly waiting for us to remember. So today, you do not need to force yourself to feel peaceful. You do not need to quiet every worry. You do not need to prove your faith is strong. Just notice what is steady. Notice the breath moving slowly in and out. Notice the quiet space around you. Notice the simple truth that God is still present here. Trust grows gently in moments like this, moments where we stop striving long enough to rest. And over time, something inside us becomes stronger, not louder, not rushed, but steady. The kind of steadiness that allows us to walk through uncertain seasons without losing our footing. The kind of steadiness that reminds us we are not alone. God is still faithful, still present, still steady. And that steadiness is a place your heart can return to today. May you move through this day gently. May you remember that trust does not have to rush. God is steady and you are still being held. Until next time, this is Avery.